From Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville, Florida, Sports Channel presents the Florida High School Activities Association 1998 Class 5A Football Championship. Tonight, Estero takes on Osceola for the state crown. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Glad you could join us for this 5A championship. Todd Callis, along with Brady Ackerman, who played his college football right here for the University of Florida. And Brady, tonight our focus is high school athletics. And the 5A championship, probably the most surprising team of any championship that's here, the Estero Wildcats.
Yeah, two teams that contrasting in styles. Osceola thought they would be here, expected to be here, ranked all season long. And Estero, kind of the Cinderella story of the state championship series this year, getting there when no one expected them to be there.
Let's take a look at Kissimmee Osceola and how they reached Gainesville.
Look at Osceola, 2 blowout wins early. A good win against a very good Gainesville team who knocked off Rutherford. And then last week, going on the road to Daytona Beach Mainland and shutting out Mainland 32-0.
First time Mainland had been shut out since 1994. There he is, the main man, the 5A Player of the Year.
Willie Green, 2,500 yards, 31 touchdowns, and he's only a junior.
So he'll be back for more next season, but he wants that crown in his junior year. Let's talk about the Cinderella story.
Estero, 3 one-point victories wrapped around a blowout win over Charlotte, beating Lakeland, who was ranked 23rd in the country on a last-second field goal, 15-14 a week ago.
When you look at the Wildcats offensively, you have to start with Travis Taylor.
Yeah, both teams love the running game. This is the wing T offense, the fullback Travis Taylor going to get a load of the carries. Big, strong, physical back. Look for him tonight.
If you ever wanted to find a Hoosier script for football, we have found it with the Estero Wildcats. The third gentleman in our broadcast team is down on the field right now. Let's go to him, Terry Norvell. Terry?
Okay, guys, we've got some interesting stories around both of these football programs. First, let's start off with Estero. They have a motto this year called the Miracle Boys of Estero. You see, they have a very close relationship with a youth pastor, and they feel those close wins that they've had, 3 or 4 by 1 point, well, that was by design because they think they've got a 12th man, if you know what I mean, looking out for them as they play their football games here. Osceola, on the other hand, as Brady said, they're ranked number 1 in the state for 7 weeks undefeated. Then they lose 2 games back-to-back. You normally don't win state championships if you lose back-to-back games, but the coaching staff for Osceola told me the best thing that could have happened. The big head got smaller. Now they're focused as they go for the championship of 5A. So we're set up for another good one, we think, right here from Florida Field.
All right, Terry, thank you very much. We'll be going to Terry all evening long for updates. We'll come back for the 5A Football Championship. Kissimmee Osceola taking on Estero. The kickoff's next. We are ready for the Class 5A State Championship, and we are underway with the kickoff. Kissimmee Osceola returning against Estero, the most surprising team in the state championships in a long time, and they bring it out to the 28-yard line, where they will set up first down and 10.
Willie Green on the return, number 40, the big-time tailback for Kissimmee Osceola.
Take a look at the Kissimmee Osceola lineup. The offensive line, Josh Day, A.J. Baker, David Welch, Jared Stewart, Reggie Bell. There is the man, Willie Green, Class 5A Player of the Year. And watch for the quarterback, who has not gotten a lot of recognition earlier in the year, but he has really come on. And that's him right there, Bobby Scipio, who gains 15 yards on the first play from scrimmage. And Osceola Kissimmee from Kissimmee is off and running.
Little option play there on the first play of the game. Bobby Scipio, who can do it on the ground and through the air, as we've seen. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards, 65% completion rate, and 22 touchdowns against only 3 interceptions.
Osceola, 3 backs behind. Bobby Scipio, quarterback hands off to the last back through. That is Chad Moscow, 6'3", 220-pound junior. He gains just a few, maybe 3, setting up second down and 7. Here's the defensive line for Estero. Chris Bergman, Little Young, Eric McIntyre, David Melendez. Mike Abar's a linebacker with Adam Gilstead and Jason Rowland. Chio Garcia, David Hall, Andrew Layton, and Josh Arizmendi in your defensive secondary. This is an Estero team that has surprised everyone, including themselves. Just 28 players dressed for the game. Scipio takes the handoff, keeps himself towards midfield on 2nd down and 7. He'll gain about 4 on the play and set up a 3rd down.
And as we've seen early here with the Osceola Cowboys, they've yet to give the ball to Willie Green, the man, 5'8" player of the year. They've gone with some other guys, and they really like to mix their formations up at Osceola, get some different guys the ball, but eventually it's going to come down to Mr. Willie Green.
So it'll be 3rd down to call it 4. Kissimmee Osceola needs to get the ball between the 47 and 48 of Estero. Right now, the ball about 1.5 yards shy of midfield. Scipio will pitch it back. They find the big number 40, Willie Green, trying to break tackles, but he does not get the 1st down. Big defensive stance for Estero on the 1st series.
Good job by the middle linebacker, Adam Gilstead, scraping across, making the tackle on Willie Green. In the backfield, as you can see here, they're going to run a toss sweep, loading the backs on the end. Willie Green trying to get to the outside. Good job by number 7 there, Jason Rowland, turning it back inside. Adam Gilstead with the tackle.
Charlie Owen gets the kick away. It's a line drive that bounces at the 20, fielded there at the 15, breaking 1 tackle, looking for running room, and finding running room is David Hall, and he takes it all the way to the 22-yard line. So David Hall, who's the starting quarterback for this Estero team, with a nice return. And Estero will take over on offense for the first time. Here's a look at the Estero Wildcat offense, the wing team. Your front 5, Mike Bishop, Eric Arnold, Jason Penn, Charlie Gray, Jason McKee. David Hall, the quarterback. Adrian Hall's the halfback. The fullback, Travis Taylor, Josh Arizmendi. Also Chris Bergman and Andrew Layton round out your Estero starting lineup. Here is 1st down and movement already right away. Chris Bergman on the left side moved early.
Tight end on the left side, got an early jump. Maybe some jitters in their state championship, first state championship appearance for Estero.
Dead ball, false start, offense.
You know, they've only had a school at Estero since 1988 at the high school, so it's a school that's barely 10 years old, and to be playing for a state championship that soon in your program and stuff says a lot about this coaching staff and about these kids.
Coach Joe Hampton has been there every step of the way. In his 11th year, the team is 72 and 42. It's so amazing that Estero has made it to the state championship. They had never won a playoff game before this year. Here's the guy we talked about in the pregame show, getting the carry and gaining a good chunk back on 1st and 15. That's Travis Taylor taking it on the right side.
Yeah, he's a load, 5'10", 210, has over 1,250 yards, as we said earlier. Running the little belly G right here. There's the guard on the kick out, back leading up on the linebacker. Good block by the lead back, number 7. Good block with him on the linebacker there to free up the run.
Here's 2nd down, call it 8. Estero with the ball. And the quick handoff and looking for room and going nowhere. Big hit made on that play by Anthony Jones, number 3, coming up from his cornerback spot to make the hit.
Yeah, this is a crushing hit right here on the edge. They try to run it to the outside. Little man in motion, going to run him outside, pull a guard out in front of him, but the guard can't get there. The corner reads it, comes up, makes the big hit.
Adrian Hall not going anywhere on that play. In fact, he lost some yardage. So it's 3rd down and 10 for the Estero Wildcats. David Hall, quarterback. 2 receivers split out to the left side. Tight end in motion, now stops on the left side. Hall will roll to that left side and try and keep it himself. He needs to get to the 33. He has a 1st down all the way towards the 40-yard line. And the Estero crowd goes wild on the near sideline. Estero has a 1st down.
Yeah, they really don't like to throw it a lot of Estero. When they get in these situations, they like to take their speedy quarterback, get him on the outside. As you'll see here, they formate him. They put the tight end and 2 wide receivers over, lead the back out there in front of him. Uses his great speed to get to the corner. Good job blocking right there by number 20, Travis Taylor, picking up the 1st down on 3rd and long situation.
There you see David Hall's numbers on the season. He hands off. Taylor will take the carry and go about 4 or 5 yards on 1st down. Good movement by the offensive line for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of guys playing both ways tonight for Estero. A lot of names you're going to recognize both offensively and defensively, and it's key for their offensive line to really get off to a good start against this, as we say a lot, an undersized offensive line against a bigger defensive line of Osceola.
Second down, call it 5, ball near midfield at the 45 of Estero. They hand off to Taylor again, looking for running room. Falls forward to near midfield. That'll be close to the first down marker.
Taylor just had a quick hitting trap up the middle. A play they like to call in second and mediums. Will pick up the first down. He gets it awfully quick. A little kick out on the inside tackle by the guard. One of their favorite plays in this offense to free Travis Taylor up. Getting the ball quick, a quick hitter.
So here we go from midfield on 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They were district runner-up. Fort Myers won the district. Here's a handoff to the right side, finding some room at the 40, at the 35, 30, knocked out of bounds inside the 25 is Adrian Hall, 5'8", 165-pound senior with a big gain for Estero.
Big time on the sweep there. They pull the 2 guards out in front of them. Charlie Gray and Eric Arnold going to get out in front of them. You'll see it right here. Number 77 and number 63 out in front of the running back. Good block right there by Eric Arnold, pancaking his guy. Good job, Adrian Hall, the tailback, setting up the block and picking up a big play.
27 yards on the carry for a first down for the Wildcats, all the way down to the 23-yard line. There's the Estero Wildcat head coach, Joe Hampton, who's been there the entire time. Asked before the game about the Hoosiers reference that we talked about in the pregame. He said, I don't mind it as long as we follow through with the script and win tonight, just like Milan High did in the movie Hoosiers with Gene Hackman as the head coach. And Joe Hampton's our Gene Hackman tonight. Estero, as we do have an injured player down on the field for Kissimmee Osceola. Estero tied for the district championship with both Fort Myers and also Lele tied them in the 4-1 bracket. They were all 4-1 in the district, so they went to a 3-way tiebreaker. Fort Myers ended up winning that tiebreaker. Estero finished second, and that's why they were runner-up coming into the playoff system. And then in the playoffs, Estero has had to play every game on the road, calling themselves the Road Warriors, and they have made it happen with 3 one-point victories, getting all the way to this championship game.
Well, yeah, and you know, since they've gone to this playoff format in the FHSAA, allowing a district runner-up in, only one other district runner-up, 1994, Pensacola, Washington, over Miami Southridge, has won a state championship, so it's still trying to get a little piece of history.
Walking gingerly off the field, Torian Wilkerson. We'll see if he comes back in. Here's the handoff on 1st and 10, and going absolutely nowhere. Big play by Larry Anderson, getting the carry and not finding any room. Josh Arizmendi.
Yeah, the big defensive lineman there, number 95, 6'4", 250. The other one next to him, Bill Smith, 6'2", 235. So Osceola's got some big, strong, physical defensive linemen in the middle. Most of the big-time run plays tonight from Estero may come off tackle at the smaller defensive end spots.
Second down, call it 11. After the loss of 1, here's the handoff. Travis Taylor getting to the 20-yard line where he is stopped. That'll set up 3rd down and about 8.
There's Tony Paradiso in on the tackle, the linebacker, number 32. Another one of those quick-hitting plays to Travis Taylor. And as we've seen before, the linebacking play is going to be key when you're facing the wing T. These guys, Paradiso, Henry Campbell, Chad Masco, they're going to have to be disciplined in this wing T and not get thrown off with all the misdirection.
3rd down and 8 for Estero. Rolling out to his right. Looking, Hall throws, complete to the 10, to the 5-yard line, and stopped right there. Andrew Layton takes the reception for a first down, and Estero from Lee County is going to have 1st and goal.
Outstanding sprint out play pass there, sprint out pass for Estero. There you see Layton on the season, 23 catches. He's their leading receiver, and they're only guys in double digits with receptions. Kind of a little jump pass in here. He just sits down in the zone, catches it, gets up the field, makes another 5 yards. Excellent job by the Estero receiver.
First public school ever out of Lee County to play for a state title. Travis Taylor looking for the early lead at the goal line. Touchdown. Travis Taylor and Estero, the most most surprising team in these state championships on the board first, 6-0.
Just a lot of heart, a lot of desire there by Taylor, taking it over the left side and pounding it up in there for the touchdown.
And you know the people at Laley and Fort Myers, even though they tied for the district crown and didn't get this far, they are all cheering their hearts out for Estero right now. Here's another look.
Tell you, Travis Taylor they overloaded on the left side, bringing the tackle over. Travis Taylor, as the extra point is good to go up 7-0 over the left side, had 23 touchdowns coming into this game. That'll make it 24, so he has a nose for the end zone.
Let's take another look at this, Brady. You were mentioning overloaded the left side.
Yeah, they overloaded the left side, brought the tight end over and the wing back over, and he just ran up behind the left side of his line. Just got the ball over the point of the goal line, which is a touchdown. 7-0 Estero.
Estero does not understand that they're not supposed to be here. They played 4 games on the road. They went to Lakeland, the top team in Class 5A. They defeated the Lakeland Dreadnoughts in front of 8,000 fans last weekend on a come from behind last-second field goal by their kicker, Wes Virgilio, who just added the extra point to make it 7-0. 28 players dress on this team. This is truly the biggest Cinderella story that we have seen in the state championships in a long time.
Well, and the problem with having 28 players is you don't have as many parents and fans there, and they had a hard time trying to tear the goalpost down last week. So they tried, though. They bent them a little bit down in Lakeland.
Here we go with the kickoff back to Kissimmee Osceola. Taking it into the 20. Willie Green gets stopped at the 24-yard line. So the Cowboys, with a K, will take over 1st and 10 from their own 24.
Well, one thing to look at this Osceola team, if you look at their season, they're a fast starting team. They're averaging almost 28 points a game just in the first half.
Wow.
So if you can keep Osceola down in the first half, you got a good chance to beat them. They score most of their points in the first half. Over 60% of their points this year have been in the first half. So let's see if Willie Green and the boys can get on track here in their second series.
Willie Green in the I formation. He's the deep back. He'll get the carry on 1st and 10. Breaking a couple of tackles, moving forward. Gains about 5, maybe even 6 yards near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, this guy really reminds me, and I dare make comparisons with high school kids and professional athletes because it's so much to live up to, but he really reminds me a lot of a guy I play with, Emmett Smith. Low center of gravity, always goes forward, only makes one move and then makes his decision and goes. He's a real strong, powerful runner. It reminds me a lot of Emmett Smith. And only a junior.
That's the thing. He was an incredible sophomore talent. Now he's just a junior. 1 more year to go at Kissimmee. Green just misses breaking it outside. Great tackle from behind by Estero's number 51, David Melendez. Had he not made that tackle, Green may have caught the corner and gone the distance.
Yeah, that's going to be the key for this Estero team. They don't have a lot of depth, obviously, with 28 players, and they're going to run Willie Green at him 30 times tonight, so they're going to have to wrap up and stay disciplined and make the tackles because you don't want to get worn down with that big running back coming at you.
You anticipate Green here on 3rd and 1 out of the I. Instead, it's the quarterback Scipio who carries himself, and he gets the first down for Kissimmee. Team out of Osceola, 12-2 on the season.
Scipio, as you see right there, he's a load himself, Todd. 6'4", 220-pound quarterback. This guy is being looked at by a lot of schools as an athlete and a chance to play at the next level. Has had a really fine season here. There you see his stats.
Can't argue with those numbers. Over 1,170 yards, or right at 1,170 yards rushing on the season. Movement along the line before the play developed, and the flags go flying. 3:39 remaining in this first quarter. The Estero Wildcats leading Kissimmee Osceola by the score of 7-0.
Encroachment, defense.
Call made by Bob Albertson, our head official tonight. His crew out of Tallahassee, the Big Bend Officials Association. 1st down and 5 for Osceola. There's Jim Seibel, head coach in his 8th year with a record of 65 and 25 for the Cowboys. Handoff, Green breaks through one tackle, hanging on for dear life was number 44, Adam Gilstad. Green carries it forward for a gain of about 2 or 3.
That just shows the lower body strength right there. Willie Green, he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage by Gilstad, a pretty strong linebacker himself, and drags him forward, as you'll see right here. He'll fake to the first guy through the hole, hand it to the second guy, hit, stands him straight up, and drags Gilstad for another 3 yards to get the positive gain.
Second down, handoff to Green. He gains the first down, plus yardage near midfield. Willie Green will be the workhorse all night long. Nobody else in the state had more yards rushing coming into tonight than Willie Green in 1998.
Yeah, and the one thing about Osceola is they give you so many looks on offense. They'll get a pro-style offense, an eye, then they'll come with the wishbone. They'll run some option at you, so you know it really keeps the defense on their heels.
1st and 10. Ball right near midfield. Scipio will hand off again to Green. Bouncing off tacklers, driving the pile forward. Good offensive line surge. Gain of about 3 or 4. Joe Hudson out of Frostproof led the regular season yardage race, but Frostproof lost in the regional semifinals to Pahokee, who was the eventual 3A runner-up. So Frostproof's Joe Hudson ended up with 2,388 yards. Willie Green coming into tonight, 2,465 yards and 32 touchdowns. That's about 2 seasons worth for most players. Maybe even 3, maybe even a career. Here we go on 2nd down and 7. Green, the fake handoff. Scipio throws instead, just missing his receiver. Intended out there for number 5, Chad Moscow. Just came up a little bit short on the pass. It's now 3rd down and 6.
Osceola throwing a little bit more than Estero. Moscow, as you see, 6'3", 220-pound receiver. Number 5 is their leading receiver. He's had over 32 catches for over 511 yards this year. So when they do throw it, and Scipio, as you see his passing stats right there, he likes to go to Moscow.
It's amazing. His numbers are almost mirrored. 1,170 yards rushing, 1,189 yards passing. Here's Green on 3rd and 6. Bouncing forward for a first down inside the 44. Kissimmee Osceola.
Boy, what a nice burst through the hole there. He runs a little toss sweep here to the right side. Now what you're going to see is they're going to pull the guards out in front of him. Good kick out block by his fullback. Watch how he lowers his pads right here. Spins. That's what reminds me of Emmitt Smith right there. Lowering your pads and spinning off, falling forward for the first down. Outstanding run by Willie Green.
Chad Masco just had to get out of the way of the receiver downfield blocking. 1st and 10. Minute 39 and counting remaining in this first quarter. Scipio rolling to his right. Has some time near the sideline. Throws the ball incomplete off the fingertips of his intended receiver at about the 8-yard line. Matt Quinter couldn't come down with it.
Looking for the tight end there. Good defense by Estero right there. Had him pretty well covered. You probably think Bobby Scipio should have just tucked it under his arm and got what he could, but he tried to squeeze it in there and he just couldn't find his receiver.
The Estero Wildcats leading Kissimmee Osceola 7-0. A minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. This is the Class 5A State Championship. Glad you could join us. Todd Callis along with Brady Ackerman. Terry Norvell will be along with us on the sideline throughout the evening with updates. On 2nd down and 10, Scipio keeps himself to the 35-yard line for a gain of about 4, but again, Osceola will have a 3rd down situation.
And this is kind of what Estero and their wing T offense likes to do, against other teams, where Osceola, what they'll do is they'll just run. They'll run the big back at you, the big quarterback at you, then they'll play pass. It really starts to wear your defense down, so Estero is really going to have to be well-conditioned tonight to hang in here.
3rd down. They have to get beyond the 30 for a first down. Call it 3rd and 6. Scipio back to throw. Fires. Complete. Right at the first down marker now. Getting the first down. Chad Moscow leans forward. And the Cowboys with a K have another first down.
Just a timing route from Bobby Scipio out to Chad Moscow. He's going to run a 3-step drop right here. You'll see he's going to throw the quick hitch. 1, 2, 3. Throws it out there on a rope. Right at the first down marker, and that big wide receiver, 6'3", 220, he's always going to fall forward when he catches it.
Talked about a lot of players on both sides of the ball for Estero. David Hall, the quarterback, right there on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 27. Scipio keeps himself, trying to make a move at 25 to the outside, cutting it back at the 20, breaking tackles inside the 15 all the way to the 11. Quite a run by Bobby Scipio, the senior quarterback.
And just a crushing hit by Chad Moscow coming back on the crackback. Almost decapitated somebody. As you'll see right here, he's going to run the option to the left side. Ends up having to go outside. And Moscow right here. Bam! Textbook hit. Right there. Good job by Scipio making some yards. To his credit, though, for Estero, number 5, Adrian Hall, popped right back up and said, okay, that's all you got?
Timeout is taken right now by the Estero defense on 1st and 10 for Kissimmee Osceola from the 11.5-yard line. There's Jim Seibel out to talk to his Cowboy offense, trying to get back to a tie game. It's 15 seconds remaining. Estero leads 7-0. We'll come back to see if Kissimmee Osceola can put the ball in the end zone and tie this 5A championship up when we return to Florida Field right after this. Welcome back to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Class 5A football championship. Kissimmee Osceola in the gold, royal blue, and white, looking for a tying score. Scipio is in from behind the line of scrimmage, pitches it backwards, and falling on the ball wisely is Willie Green. Not a very good play by Scipio. Should have just taken the sack.
Jason Rowland, the linebacker, coming off the edge for the sack there. And Scipio not being very smart there. Heads up, tried to flip it back to Willie Green, trying to make a play. Sometimes you just got to cut your losses and keep him back in better field goal range at least.
Here's a look at a 13-yard loss.
Yeah, right here. Here comes Rowland off the edge. He's got him wrapped up. He tried to flip it out to Willie Green to make something happen. And he's put him back in 2nd and long.
We'll come back. That was the final play of the first quarter. Back with more from Florida Field in Gainesville as we continue with the 5A football championship right after this. After the big loss, the ball all the way back at the 25-yard line. 2nd and 24. They have to get to the 1. Does Kissimmee Osceola. Scipio will keep it on the right side. And he is nailed behind the line of scrimmage. Great play defensively by Estero's number 51, David Melendez, 5'11", 225-pound senior.
Outstanding tackle by Melendez here as he comes off the offensive lineman trying to block him, gets away from him, and wraps up Scipio behind the line of scrimmage.
There is a flag on the play.
Clipping offense.
Clipping, I assume at this point Estero might decline this penalty and take a 3rd and 29.
Well, Osceola got it down there in the red zone, down to the 11-yard line, has got it in reverse right now, Todd.
They're discussing the options. It would be 2nd and about 25 or 6. I check that'll be 2nd and 36 or 3rd and 28. You got to decline it, don't you? They're going to push him back, though. Give him an extra play.
Well, it's actually from the spot of the foul, so it'll actually be 3rd and, ooh, goodness gracious, I don't know how far.
Well, it'll be 2nd and 40, let's call it 43. They have to get to the 1.5.
I think if you're Osceola right now, you play to get into field goal range.
I guess so.
If you can.
They started this 1st and 10, like Brady said, at the 11-yard line. Here they are back at the 45. Unbelievable. Out of the shotgun. Scipio rolls to his left. Has time. Still looking. Fires over the head of his receiver who was waiting out there for the pass. Couldn't come down with it. Robbie Beach on the far sideline.
Estero in the 50 front on defense, only rushing 3, mixing up some linebacker blitzes a couple of plays. But, you know, when you're only rushing 3, you're going to have time, but that means there's 8 guys in the coverage, and they knew in the shotgun formation that Osceola was looking to pass. And a good job by Estero getting guys in the coverage and covering everybody up.
Scipio needs to hustle a little bit to get this play called and get the snap in time to avoid another penalty and a delay a game. Just 30 seconds into the second quarter, the Cinderella story continues for Estero as they lead 7-0. Just 28 players dress on this Wildcat team. And there is delay of game. And Scipio was just taking, you could see that coming. He was taking too much time getting back to the huddle. And here's the call officially from Bob Albertson.
Delay offense.
Well, if you don't, whatever your 3rd and 44 play is, it's probably going to be the same one on 3rd and 49.
This is one that you don't have in the books. I doubt he, on those charts that he's holding in his left hand, Jim Seibel does not have a 3rd and 49 play. Maybe a quick kick. If Scipio can kick the ball, get it out of there. Although Scipio's lining up right behind center, so I doubt we're going to see that. 3rd and 49, they'll go to Willie Green, see if he can gain 49 yards. He got 4 of them back, maybe 5 or 6, but this punt's not even going to get to the first down marker. It is 4th and 43. So Osceola, like you said, in reverse on that last first down.
Yeah, good job of the Estero defense stretching out Willie Green to the sideline so they could get defenders there. That's what you want to do when you have a great back like that. You want to harness or corral him, stretch him out, make him use the whole field horizontally so that you can get defenders there to make the tackle.
Before the play gets underway, we do have a flag down. We'd have another penalty on Osceola.
Encroachment, offense.
Well, encroachment on the offense would mean that one of the offensive players lined up over the line of scrimmage.
I think it was the far right side of the line of scrimmage in front of the Estero bench. Here we go on 4th and a mile. The punt is away. Hall's going to let it bounce and hope it goes into the end zone, and it barely gets into the end zone for the touchback. Estero almost got pinned back inside the 1, but instead they'll take over 1st and 10 from the 20. Let's go down right now to Terry Norville. Terry?
Okay, guys, maybe there is something to this Miracle Boys of Estero. With David Hinkson, he's the team chaplain, a youth pastor in the town. They really believe, don't they?
They do. They have the true hearts of gold.
1 quarter out of the way, 7-0. Do you rally them every game? I mean, do you give them a pep talk?
Really, they don't need much rallying. They rally themselves.
There you have it, the Miracle Boys of Estero. 1 down and 3 to go for a state title.
Thank you very much, Terry. 10:47 remaining in the 2nd quarter. The Wildcats take over 1st and 10. David Hall at quarterback. He'll hand the ball off to Travis Taylor, who goes nowhere. He is wrapped up by the Cowboys defense. Leading the charge for Kissimmee Osceola, number 17, Darius McCrimon.
Good job by the Osceola defense stretching it out. And what you want to do is you want to force these teams that like to run the ball a lot. A team that's a wing T team, you want to force them into 2nd and 3rd and long situations.
Here's 2nd down and 10. Ball on the left hash mark. Taylor wearing the long white sleeves behind Hall. Steady hands off to the other Hall. That's Adrian Hall, and he goes nowhere. Another big defensive play. This time it's Henry Campbell, so the Cowboys D is coming up big on this series.
Like we talked about against the wing T, your linebackers got to make plays, read their guards, read their keys. Henry Campbell, the 6', 200-pound middle linebacker from Osceola, gets through the line and makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage to put him in 3rd and long.
3rd down and 11. Play comes in from the sideline. Andrew Layton calls the play to the quarterback. David Hall relays the signal and brings the team to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 11. Hall fakes a handoff, rolling to his left. Has some time, throws behind his receiver, and a great sliding catch. No, incomplete. Would have been short of the 1st down anyhow, but a great effort made trying to make the catch, Chris Bergman. But instead, it is incomplete, and it'll set up a punting situation.
Yeah, awful tough on the waggle pass. You got to play in the middle of the field, and you call the waggle pass to the left side. It's awful tough throw for the quarterback, David Hall, who's right-handed, having to throw across his body to a receiver coming across the field. So, tough throw for him to make.
West Virgilio, who has been a hero twice with game-winning field goals in the playoff series for the Estero Wildcats, back to punt. Virgilio gets a good kickoff, a little bit low, fielding it at his own 45, moving up to midfield, and getting tackled right there for Kissimmee Osceola. Number 22, Darrell Walls on that return. So the Cowboys will start 1st and 10 from their own 48. It is amazing to see the contrast when you look at the entire bench on both sides. 28 guys dressed for Estero. Their bench looks minuscule. I mean, in that picture right there, you're looking at the whole team, and there goes another guy. So that's even that guy with the headphones. I don't think he's not suited up. So that's the whole side. That's only part of the other side. Believe me, there's a lot more players with white jerseys, and we'll take a look at the contrast a little later on. Here's Willie Green on 1st and 10. And he goes nowhere. Another big play. This time Chris Bergman, who just missed that great sliding catch, makes a defensive stop. Also Adam Gilstad in there.
Yeah, you got guys playing both ways, so you're going to call them a lot. These are the guys that make plays for him. Bergman in the middle up there stuffing the run by Willie Green. And Osceola really needs to get something going. Ever since they got it down to the 11-yard line, they've really been in reverse offensively.
David Hall, Andrew Layton, Josh Arizmendi, Chris Bergman, they all play offense and defense. Willie Green, Class 5A Player of the Year, bouncing off tacklers. He's near a 1st down, had to get to the 41. He is tackled around the 42.
And if you're going to come hit Willie Green, you better bring something with you. If you watch right here, He's going to take it over on the left side. The second guy through. Fake it to the first guy. Hand it to the second guy. Willie Green coming through there. Watch him lower his pads right here. Boom. Running over the safety. Driving the pile forward to make it 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1. Ball at the 42. Did Estero jump? No flags. Here's a first down at the 40, 35, turning the corner, 30, 25-yard line. Chad Moscow with a first down plus some, a gain of 22 yards, and Osceola has a first down inside the 20.
This Moscow guy can really do it all. Plays linebacker on defense, wide receiver, and then you're going to see him right here carrying the ball out of the backfield. Just off tackle, using his great speed outside, gets to the corner, then lowers his shoulder and gets him another 5 yards.
Kissimmee Osceola trailing 7-0. You see the clock, under 8 minutes remaining in the first half. This is Moscow again, 15, 10, to the 5-yard line before he is stopped there. Another first down for Osceola.
Osceola has gone back to the power running game, handing it to the big guys. Chad Moscow, only a sophomore. They're going to lead both backs up in here, including Willie Green. Gets 2 fine blocks right there. Good push on the left side of the line. And then he drags the defender all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Cowboys have first and goal from the 5. Quentin Smith behind the quarterback, Bobby Scipio. And movement on the line. And that'll be an easy call as Kissimmee Osceola jumped early. A.J. Baker on the left side.
This is where they broke down last time. They got in the red zone, got to the 11-yard line, and they just started shooting themselves in the foot.
Good ball. False start. Offense.
So instead of first and goal from the 5, it sets up first and goal from the 10. As Brady mentioned, the last time Kissimmee Osceola was here at the 11-yard line, they went all the way back to midfield. See the penalties. Osceola 4 for 30. On first and goal, it's Willie Green to the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown, Willie Green.
A burst of speed from the man, Willie Green. That's why he's had 32 touchdowns on the year. He was the only back in the backfield, so he's the only guy who could have gotten the ball. Strange formation by Osceola, where they bring their fullback and their wing back up in the line. As you're going to see it coming right at us. Good push by the center and the right guard, opening up a huge hole right up the middle of the Estero defense.
Extra point is good, and we are tied with 7:12 remaining in the first half, 7-7. There is the man, Willie Green. 32 touchdowns in 14 games before tonight. He averages over 2 TDs a game, and he picks up his first of the evening. We'll be back with more in this first half. 7:12 remaining. Estero 7, Osceola 7 in the Class 5A football finals. The broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel by the Florida High School Activities Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, transmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel is prohibited. Estero back to field, the kickoff. Tied at 7, looking for running room on the far sideline. The flag goes down. Adrian Hall also goes down with the ball at the 30-yard line.
Possible illegal block, invariably on any return. You see a flag go down, whether it be punt or kick return, or some type of block in the back or clip.
That is the call, clipping on Estero out of Lee County. The Wildcats 13-1 on the year. Their lone loss came to Fort Myers out of their own district. Fort Myers winning the district 13 championship in a 3-way playoff. And we told you about a little earlier. Lely, Estero, Fort Myers. And there you see some of the Wildcats fans. Now, we're cold up here, Brady.
They got to be cold down there. Are they crazy or what? But that's what a first state championship appearance will do to you. It'll make you take your shirt off in cold weather.
They could do something you might not normally do. But the Estero Wildcat fans are fired up. They've been called, as you heard earlier from Terry, the Miracle Kids. Comeback after comeback. 1-point win after 1-point win. They should never, by any rights, be here. But they are. And it's 7-7 as Travis Taylor takes the handoff on 1st and 10. And gains about 4 yards. Taylor will get the majority of the work for the Wildcats this evening.
Yeah, and there's what makes this Estero team so good when they run the wing tee. The quarterback does a nice job of carrying his fake out. The back who doesn't get the ball does a nice job of carrying his fake out. And that can really set the defense off not knowing who has the ball.
Time of possession so far in the favor of Osceola. Estero would like to change that with this drive. Quarterback David Hall will hand off to Taylor. Weaves his way forward, has a first down as he drags tacklers. We saw Willie Green earlier. Travis Taylor said, hey, there's more than one running back in this 5A championship.
Another guy, low center of gravity, 5'10", 210 pounds. There you see his numbers, 23 touchdowns. Travis Taylor just going to lower his pads and drag the pile with him. He's been inspired by what Willie Green did on the last drive. There you see him protecting the football, picking up a nice game. Outstanding run by Travis Taylor.
Those are two solid defenders for Kissimmee Osceola, led by Jarrell Terry, too. They could not stop the big man, Travis Taylor. So Estero has 1st and 10. All tied at 7 from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida Field, Gainesville, Florida. And there is a big hit. Actually, Adam Hall still has the ball. Hall, the quarterback, faked everyone out. We're going to get a late flag, maybe a face mask on top of the gain. A gain of about 9 or 10. And everybody on the Kissimmee Osceola defense went for Travis Taylor.
Anthony Jones made a touchdown saving tackle, the number 3 for Kissimmee Osceola.
Clipping offense.
Ooh. Late clipping call. So all the way down the field, they call clipping, and that will hurt.
There's Jones showing great speed. Got sucked inside, realized the quarterback had the ball. Had he gotten to the corner, would have been a touchdown, obviously negated by the penalty, but Anthony Jones doing a nice job making the tackle there on the quarterback, David Hall.
Jason McKee, starting right tackle for Estero, is the injured player on the field. We mentioned earlier the Wildcats dress only 28 players, so you can never afford, no team can afford an injury, but especially when you dress 28. Check that out. I thought it was 73. Is that big number 78?
'78.
78. All right, that's Jason McKee. He's listed at 73 on one program, but he's 78. Jason McKee will be walked off. He looks okay, so we may expect to see him back in there a little bit later on. But the clipping was a big penalty. Instead of 2nd and 1, it's now 1st and 15. Call it 16. Handoff to Taylor at the 20, barely forward across the 20. Good stick there by Kissimmee Osceola's defense. First man making the hit for Kissimmee Osceola on the defensive side was Dwayne McGee.
Yeah, and they went back over the left side. They've had a lot of success running behind Mike Bishop and Eric Arnold, but the Osceola defense has got Estero where they want them. 2nd and long, you know, against this defense is going to be tough to pick up for Estero.
David Hall taking the option left. He'll keep it himself, and he'll get rolled down. Fine defensive play right there. Darius McCrimon with the play, number 17 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, when you get the option, you have to be disciplined. You have to have a guy on the quarterback and a guy on the pitch. Darius McCrimon right here, the safety, defensive back to that side, had the quarterback. The corner would have had the pitch, and he made a nice job coming up making the tackle.
And good news for Estero. Jason McKee back into the ball game. David Hall keeps himself, needs to get to the 33, not going to get there. Taken down at the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. Good defensive hold by Kissimmee Osceola, and again, it was a big clipping penalty that was called on that long run on 1st down against Estero.
Yeah, Darius McCrimon's brother, Sean McCrimon, in there, the sophomore, stretching that play out, number 24, doing a nice job for Osceola. Osceola has a lot of team speed, as you see him right there, the young sophomore. And, you know, you've got a couple guys on Estero with some good speed, but when you're running laterally against the Osceola defense, you're not going to make many yards.
Cut away towards McCrimon, who will let it bounce at the 40, at the 35, and rolls dead at the 32-yard line. where Kissimmee Osceola will take over 1st and 10 with 3:36 remaining in this first half. Estero jumped on the board first, 7-0. Osceola came back with a touchdown to tie it. You mentioned in the regular season how potent the Kissimmee Osceola offense was in the first half. In the playoffs, though, they have struggled at times. In the first 3 playoff games, they fell behind, and all 3 of those games came back to win. The Florida High School Activities Association on Sports Channel is being brought to you in part by Dairy Farmers Incorporated, Got Milk, and by Hip Health Plan of Florida. Affordable, quality health care is never a thing of the past.
Well, they just ran Willie Green off the left side, up the middle, picking up 5 yards, and you can bet they're going to keep using him as he moved the pile forward. He's yet to go backwards tonight.
There you see the clock. Kissimmee does have to show a little bit of urgency, but they do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so we'll see if they just keep it on the ground all the way up the field. 2nd down and 5. Scipio hands off to Green, 2nd back through, has a haul up to the 45 before David Hall takes him down. 1st down for Osceola.
Very nice play here by the Osceola Cowboys, and what they're going to try to do is they've done this the last 2 series, is play smash mouth football, try to wear down this smaller Estero team, a team not with a lot of depth. Try to get physical with them, wear them down, and make them tired in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
Estero's defense has to come up huge tonight to keep them in this game. Osceola has one of the strongest offenses in the history of high school football. Here's Moscow across midfield to the 48-yard line. Kissimmee Osceola scored 614 points this year, which would have set the new record. Tampa Catholic had the record in 1995 of 604 points, but the 614 was second this year to Pahokee, who scored 640 points in Class 3A.
Well, I'll tell you this, when you're running 3 or 4 running backs at you at over 200 pounds, this Estero team's been on the field a long time.
Kissimmee Osceola will be back to throw, and a pass complete to Moscow. He bobbles, regains control, knocked out of bounds at the 35. There is a flag down at midfield in the area of holding. That's what David Hall says. He's a quarterback on the offense, and he's a quarterback on defense.
Holding offense.
And, you know, you look at the time of possession as we looked at it earlier. Osceola dominating the time of possession, but I don't know if that is really going to be a factor tonight, because most of the Estero guys are used to playing both ways anyway, so you're not really wearing their defense down because those are the same guys playing offense. So that may be something to, you know, that really is not going to be a true factor of things as Osceola's offense is on the field a long time. But what it does mean is that your defense stays fresh at Osceola, which can shut down that Estero offense.
Late substitution for Estero, coming in and joining the defensive lineup late is Burton, number 82. Pitches back to Moscow. He's looking to throw. Moscow has a receiver open and Beach, and he underthrows him. Great call, great design play, but just underthrowing the receiver, Robbie Beach, was Chad Moscow, who doesn't make a lot of throws during the year.
Yeah, and one of those things that you design this play up, you draw it up. The coach has been working on it all year, and you know it's going to be a touchdown. Here you go, you got the option, but this guy right here caused him to not be able to get as much on the throw. Conversely, the receiver had to hold up, and the DB was able to come back in and kind of get in his way.
Good job by David Hall to get back, but the secondary was burned on that play. Great call. Jim Seidel made the call, just couldn't quite make the execution happen. So now it's 3rd and 15. Cindy back to throw. Throws. Intercepted by Estero. Getting the pickoff is Adrian Hall, number 5. And the Wildcats have the ball in Osceola territory at the 40.
Bad read by Bobby Scipio. He's only thrown 3 picks all year. Adrian Hall making the nice interception right there. All they ran here was a slant flat route. They'll run the outside receiver on the slant. The inside receiver is going to run a flat. The linebacker does a good job dropping into his zone where he's supposed to be in the flat. Scipio should have gone to the slant route right there, and now he's turned this game right back around.
Excellent point, Brady. Just 3 interceptions all year long. This Kissimmee Osceola team doesn't usually beat itself. Adrian Hall, who just had the interception, gets taken down on the outside. Good defensive play, spreading out that play. Number 3 on the outside for Osceola, leading the drive, Anthony Jones.
Yeah, and again, when Osceola lost their 2 games in a row, as you mentioned earlier, they had 9 turnovers in those 2 games, 6 against Auburndale, 3 the following week against East Bay. So that, they said, helped motivate them. But again, if you're going to turn the ball over in big games, as we've seen, it's going to cost you.
Clock is becoming a factor here. As you see, we tick under 1 minute remaining in this first half. 7-7. David Hall sends Adrian Hall in motion. David back to throw. Has time. Fires deep down the middle of the field and is tipped and incomplete at the 10-yard line. Looking for his split end, Andrew Layton. The ball was tipped away at the last minute, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 9.
Good coverage by number 3, Anthony Jones, right there for Osceola, but actually a very nice play by the wide receiver as he actually tipped the ball away from being intercepted. Andrew Layton coming across on a drag route to split in for Estero.
So now 3rd down and 9. The ball at the Osceola 39-yard line. Estero has to get to the 30. Layton checks out of the ball game for Estero. Number 11, Nick Hill, a 5'4" junior, checks in. David Hall will hand off to Taylor inside the 35, down to the 34, maybe the 33, shy of the 1st down, and now on 4th down, more than likely, you would think with this amount of time left, they'll go for it here. Joe Hampton talking it over with his assistants. It'll be 4th down and 3, and Estero's going to take a timeout and talk this over with 37 seconds remaining in the half. We talked about the coaching staff and the players on the sideline. Estero with only 28 players dressed for every game. Kissimmee Osceola has 18 assistant coaches. They have almost as many assistant coaches as Estero has players dressed for the field. And there you're taking a look at Joe Hampton in the middle with the white cap on. He hasn't seen anything like this. I don't think he ever will. Hey, how about that? That's a little stylish.
Yeah.
Got a little blonde look going.
If you got that going, that's the most popular thing going right now. This game is played out just the way Estero's wanted it to play. 7-7 game with 37 seconds. They'll take that going to the half. They believe they're going to win the close games. I believe if Osceola is going to win this game, they felt like they had to have a big game offensively in the first half. What's been surprising is Estero stopping that running game of Osceola only giving up 1 touchdown.
Here we go. It's going to be 4th down, Brady. 4th down. They have to get to the 30-yard line. Hall will hand out to Adrian Hall. The halfback pass to the end zone, intercepted. Kissimmee Osceola. Actually, you can't blame Anthony Jones for making the pick, but it would have been better if he would have just knocked it down because that was a 4th down play. But instead, Kissimmee Osceola will take over on the interception at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, what a heck of an interception right here. As you'll see, Anthony Jones been matched up with Andrew Layton all night long so far. Goes up, catches it, actually gets tackled as he catches it. Can't blame you for making an interception, Todd, in the state championship game. Something he'll always remember. They get the quarterback here, probably just wedge it right on out and run the clock out. Yeah,
you'd imagine they will go to the locker rooms all tied at 7. Estero and Osceola, which should set up an exciting second half. 29 ticks remaining. See Scipio. Don't go backwards, Bobby. He goes forward, and that'll run out the first half. Estero only has 1 timeout left, so it wouldn't make sense for them to take it and try and force a punt. So we're going to wind down the end of the first half here, all tied at 7. Very interesting game. Jim Seibel, the head coach of Kissimmee Osceola, watching on. And Joe Hampton, they're all even with 24 minutes to go.
The team of destiny and your Cinderella team as this Estero team, that's the kind of script you want in the first half. Getting the ball first in the second half, exactly what they want as they go into the halftime.
Estero has amazed everyone to get this far. They probably amazed themselves. There you see the other side, the fans for the Cowboys. But Estero has been the one story that everybody in the state's talking about. And we're going to go down and hear from the Estero head coach, Joe Hampton, before his team heads to the locker room. Here's Terry Norville. Terry?
That's right, guys. I've got Coach Hampton from Estero. Coach, tight game. Your history in the playoffs. Tight games favor you guys.
Well, we just got to keep playing like we're playing, you know, and you know, not give up big plays and play like, you know, we just got to hang in there. Don't let them have big plays and stuff. And we got a chance. Maybe, you know, they'll make a mistake like they just did and keeps us right there. That's what we got to keep doing.
Okay, Coach, good luck second half. There you have it. They want to keep it close, and they've got a good history in winning those tight games, guys.
All right, Terry, they certainly do with 3 one-point victories in this playoff series. We'll come back with some halftime comments of the Class 5A football finals right after this. 24 minutes of football remaining in the Class 5A football finals. Todd Callis along with Brady Ackerman, Terry Norvell down on the sidelines. And Terry right now is ready for the Kissimmee Osceola head coach, Jim Seibel. Terry?
Hey, thanks a lot, Todd. I am with Jim Skywell, head coach for Kissimmee Osceola. It seemed like in the second quarter, your superstar, Willie Green, really started getting on track.
Well, we got a little bit better. We were kind of shaky the first quarter, and we played a little bit better, and we didn't do very well on that when we had the ball down inside the 10-yard line. We've got to play a lot better this half. Our defense is coming on. It's going to be a bear of a second half, I'm sure, because they got a good football team.
Okay, Coach, 24 minutes to decide it. Good luck. Thanks. There you go, 24 minutes, and somebody's a state champion. Back to you guys.
All right, Terry, good job, and we are ready for the second half. Glad you could join us here on Sports Channel Florida for this and all 5 football championships here in the Swamp. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Florida Field. So far, it's been a battle of the running backs. As we take a look at the first half individual statistics. First, the kickoff, and Estero will take it from their own 15, looking for running room, going to the 30-yard line, being tackled at the 32-yard line. On the return, Josh Arizmendi.
Yeah, tripped up right there by number 3, guess who for Osceola, Anthony Jones, a guy we've seen all night long on defense, now doing it on special teams. First half, though, Estero doing it on the ground. Travis Taylor, 10 carries for 47 yards, so he's just about halfway to 100, trying to offset what Willie Green's done for Osceola.
13 for 70 for Green. Here is Estero on 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. David Hall hands off to Taylor. Guy Brady was just talking about doesn't go very far on the first play from scrimmage. In the second half, maybe 2 yards. Number 3 is always around, even when he's helping up the opposition.
Yeah, boy, he really flies around. I like this kid. He's a good player. The one thing that you heard Seibel say at halftime to Terry Norvell was he liked the improved play of his defense. His defense looked a little shaky in the first quarter, giving up the early touchdown, but really has played well and even got pinned back with some bad field position and held Estero without any points there late in the second quarter. So the defense has come on for Osceola.
Both of these schools trying to make history for Estero. Their first time ever in the state championship. Here's a handoff again to Travis Taylor. Gains about 2 or 3 yards on 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and you know, the Estero really loves to run this belly play where they pull the guard play side and let fullback Travis Taylor run it up in there behind him. They go to the left side and to the right side. Do a good job as far as going to, here you see him going to the strong side. Right here, you see 70 on the kick out. Travis Taylor coming up behind him, right off his butt, in there for a 4-yard gain. Set up 3rd and 5.
They need to get the ball to the 42-yard line. The ball right now is at the 37. David Hall looking, pressure, dragged down from behind. Great defensive play. Henry Campbell, number 49, was pursuing, and he finally caught David Hall from behind.
Outstanding coverage by the secondary, allowing the linebacker Henry Campbell, number 49, right there to get the sack on the quarterback, showing great closing speed because David Hall, the quarterback, he's no slouch with his speed. He's got pretty good speed too. Great job by Henry Campbell. Good coverage in the Osceola secondary as the D rises up. We do have a flag down though.
Personal foul called against Estero. That'll back them up even further.
That'll make it a dead ball foul, which means they'll have to punt it away from back deep in their own territory.
Talked about history. There you see the coach of Estero, Joe Hampton. This is the first Lee County public school ever to play in the state finals. Fort Myers, Bishop Verot were the 95 runners-up. In '92, Fort Myers lost to St. Thomas Aquinas in the regional finals. This is the first time for a public school out of Lee County in the state championship game. For Kissimmee Osceola, the last time they were in the state finals, 1982. They were the first Orlando area team since Evans in '91 to play in the state finals. In that '91 game, Evans tied Miami Southridge as Layton tries to pull the ball forward a little bit. They tied Miami Southridge, no overtime, 22-22, so they were co-champions. The last outright state champion from the Central Florida area was back in 1983 when Titusville won in '82 and '83. So these are areas that haven't seen state championship football in a while.
Yeah, an outstanding punt too, right there by West Virgilio. 52-yarder, kind of get him out of a hole there for Estero.
So Osceola takes over, 1st and 10. Willie Green, big hole left side, first down yardage, 11 yards on the first carry for Willie Green here in the second half.
Well, like we said, Willie Green, 70 yards in the first half. Picked up most of that in the second quarter. Again, the power game. 2 backs leading up in there. They bring in motion, Masco, and then the fullback, number 7, Quentin Smith, leading up in there, doing a good job opening up a big hole in there for Willie Green to get it first down.
Good block left side of the offensive line. A.J. Baker in there with the block. Here is Green on the right side. Only gains about 3 or 4 before he is taken down. And
to Willie Green's credit is the fact that this offensive line of Osceola is not an overly large offensive line in Class 5A. They have a couple of guys at 290 and 265 at the tackles, Day and Bell. But right there in the middle where he likes to run in between the guards area, 215, 190, and 220. So those guys are doing a good job, Walt, Stewart, and Baker, but so is Willie Green.
B.J. Ashley is playing right now on the left side, number 75. He's just a freshman. Here comes Willie Green again, running to the left side, first down yardage to the 37-yard line. So Willie Green picking up the pace here in the second half.
Willie Green has warmed it up here at the halftime. He's definitely doing what Willie Green does best. Making people miss tackles, breaking tackles. Here you go, a guy comes through, has a chance to strip it, but he keeps his pads down low right there and falling forward. What an outstanding run right there by Willie Green.
1st and 10 for Kissimmee Osceola. Just underway here in the second half. Bobby Scipio hands off. This time it's Moscow, and he has a big hole. Moscow inside the 20. Another Osceola first down, and the offensive line is really jumping off the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, that running game for the Cowboys is really starting to wear down Estero here early in the third quarter. As you'll see, just an isolation play to the left. A huge hole on the Estero defense, and a nice run by Moscow.
Again, the left side, B.J. Ashley, the freshman. Also, number 64, A.J. Baker, the left guard. Ashley playing left tackle right now. Here's Moscow again at the 15-yard line, forced out of bounds.
I'll tell you one thing about this Moscow guy. He looks just as good as a tailback as some of the other guys playing. He runs a little bit of wide receiver. There you see his carries, 6 carries for 70 yards. Does a good job on this last play using the stiff arm to kind of get outside and pick up 8 yards. Watch him right here. He'll go outside. See the stiff arm right there? That's outstanding. Good stiff arm, picks up 8 yards, frees himself up.
He spelled Willie Green for a couple of plays, did a nice job carrying the ball. Now Green back in there. Moscow moves out to the right side as the receiver. Scipio keeps on the fake handoff, and he goes nowhere. We've called Adam Gilstad, number 44, a few times tonight.
Yeah, good play by Gilstad. I wonder on that play call there, they haven't stopped Green, they haven't stopped Moscow since you moved it up and down the field, and they come back with an option play with their fullback in the backfield, no other back, so it's not even an option play, it's a keep. Good job by 44, Gilstad coming up, filling in the hole and taking the quarterback. He didn't even have a pitch man to pitch it to, so he had to take the quarterback. Did a nice job.
Willie Green, the tailback behind Scipio. 2 flankers split out to the right side. Green gets hit, pops off 1 tackle, and then he gets swarmed under. Broke the initial hit made by David Melendez, but then he was swarmed under by the rest of the Wildcats for little gain.
Yeah, Eric McIntyre getting in there, the defensive tackle for Estero after the initial hit by David Melendez. Again, though, tough to bring Willie Green down with 1 guy, but if you can hit him and slow him up so you can get the rest of your partners there, there's your best chance to stop Willie Green.
Terry Norvell has an update on the Kissimmee Osceola offensive line. Terry?
Yeah, speaking of that offensive line, they've got a real trendsetter. Jared Stewart, a sophomore guard, was the first player on this Osceola team to dye his hair blonde. Basically, the entire team now is blonde. Not too many 16-year-old sophomore trendsetters since a guy I knew named Brady Ackerman at Fletcher High School. Back to you guys.
That's right. I sure was a trendsetter. I actually had my hair bleached blonde, but it was more for the movie Top Gun or something than it was, as you see. There it is. If you've got that hair right there, you can play football.
Well, the thing is, it's nice because it matches their helmet color, so
yeah,
they'll never forget where their helmets are. There's a lot of guys that have that same look, and now number 80.
There he is.
You see,
oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
You got that, all of them on here.
Oh, that guy feels left out. Over half the team with the bleached blonde hair. Right now, they're looking to find the end zone after after the timeout. Tied at 7:25 left in the third quarter.
And they can't go for a field goal, so they're going to have to run a play here.
Fourth down play. Scipio looking to pass more run. He's going to run to the 10, first down to the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown, Kissimmee Osceola. Bobby Scipio kept it himself, and on a 4th and 5 goes 15 yards for the score.
What a play, what a big-time play by Scipio. You can see why schools like West Virginia and Syracuse are recruiting this guy. They're going to fake the ball here off the right side to their money man. Willie Green sucked the defense. Notice how the defense sucks all the way inside. Gets Scipio in the corner with the good speed. Then just a great effort here, lowering his pads, getting into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the extra point is up by Brandon Pitt, and it is good. So, Kissimmee Osceola, for the first time tonight, leads the 5A state championship game 14-7. Great block by Quentin Smith, number 7.
Yeah, watch him out here on the outside. Good job peeling back. Gives a little pass fake there to hold the corner, and then smells that end zone and pay dirt.
Good call by the officials. You can see the ball land right on the goal line. There he is, Bobby Scipio. And Brady, he has really come on in the second half.
Yeah, an outstanding drive led by Scipio. 8 plays, 62 yards. It really looks like their offense is starting to get into sync and what they like to do.
Estero trailed for the first time tonight, 14-7. This Estero team knows what it's like to come from behind time and time again. They have been behind, and time again, Joe Hampton's team has come up with a big play at the end of the game.
Yeah, you only have to look back 7 days in which they trailed 23rd ranked team in the country, Lakeland, the Dreadnoughts, 14-0, only to come back and win on a last-second field goal, 15-14.
Scipio tees it up. Bobby's going to kick off here for the Cowboys. Back to return. Quarterback David Hall and the flanker Josh Arizmendi. Kick goes towards the sideline where David Hall will gather it up to the 20, and he is driven down at the 24-yard line. So Estero takes over, 7:12 remaining in the third quarter. David Hall gets up and implores his team to get something going offensively.
Yeah, real key right here for Estero to come out, Coach Joe Hampton is in his squad, and establish something on offense. Not so much to score, but make some first downs. Let some of your guys that are playing on defense sit down there on the bench. Make some first downs and maintain the confidence that you had in the first quarter of this football game.
Estero on 1st and 10. We'll hand the ball off. This is Adrian Hall. Hall gets piled out of bounds. Great sound there, as you can see our parabolic mic right on the sideline. That was a big stick, and you could hear it clear as Adrian Hall gains 4 yards.
Yeah, number 6, Teron Wilkerson's going to come up here. The sophomore, 6'2", 160-pound defensive back. Watch him come up here and just, boom, deliver the shoulder in there to stop the charge again. Running back stretched out to the sideline. Good job by all the defenders right there. The linebacker, number 32, stretching it out, Tony Paradiso. Good job by the Osceola defense.
I like that camera angle, right into your living room, that last angle. Here's a nice carry on 2nd down. Travis Taylor, very close to a first down. He needed to get to the 35. I believe they're going to spot it beyond the 35. And the Estero fans come right back.
Yeah, he's and like I said earlier, the thing that you want to do with this Estero team, there's so much team speed on the Osceola defense. Your big plays are going to come between the tackles. Quick hitters to that guy right there, Travis Taylor, taking advantage of your speed instead of their speed.
Taylor again the lone back. This time David Hall rolls right. He'll keep it himself. 35, gets tackled at the 40. So a gain of about 4. Hall showing some elusiveness, but couldn't quite get away from a couple of the Kissimmee Osceola defenders, led by Sean McCrimon, the sophomore right end.
And like I said, if they could get another first down or 2 here and drive into the territory, if they don't come away with any points, they win the field position battle, which is what Estero wants to do, get it into a fourth quarter football game.
Hall shows a lot of poise out there under center. He sends his receiver in motion, Hall. The other Hall, Adrian Hall, that is. Lob pass to the middle, first down, Travis Taylor. Nothing too fancy, Brady, just moving the chains.
Yeah, that is an awfully nice throw. Athletic move, a little jump pass he likes to do. He'll roll out here to the right side and look at his first primary receiver, I think, with a Z receiver down the seam. He was covered pretty well. Came back to his secondary receiver over the middle, Travis Taylor, and dumped it off to him.
Well, there you see the total yards, which were about dead even at the half. Osceola with the advantage here in the second half. Estero, though, moving the chains for the second time in this drive. Fake a couple of handoffs. Actually, the handoffs to the first back through Travis Taylor. Taylor pulls his way forward, call it a gain of 4, second down and 6. Kind of a big series here to try and answer Osceola right back.
Yeah, that would, you know, Osceola was starting to get some confidence in their defense. You heard Coach Seibel say when he came out that he felt like the defense had played well since early in the first quarter. So Estero trying to answer the charge of Osceola.
See the situation on the screen, second and 6, 5:15 and counting. Handoff, Adrian Hall. Looking for some room, not there. We've called 24 for a while. There's 95, who is a big-time recruit, Larry Anderson, Division I recruit. Miami's looking at him, Alabama's looking at him, Clemson, Virginia Tech. He was right in there on that play, along with number 24, Charlie McCrimon, who we have called a lot.
Yeah, and my boy from the safety position, Anthony Jones, trying to get him an unassisted tackle in there. Number 3 has done an outstanding job, like you see there with Charlie McCrimon.
Here we go with third down and 4. Estero has to get the ball to the 42. Taylor looking for the 42. He has it to the 40. First down, Estero. The Wildcats continue to move the chains, and Travis Taylor's going nuts out there.
He is. He's trying to inspire his team right now with the way he's running the football, trying to put them on the back, saying, hey, I'm the man, Travis Taylor, I'm the man, give me the rock, and I'll pick up some first downs as he does right here on this run. There it is, just an ISO play. Good job by the fullback blocking on the play side linebacker. And look at the second effort of Travis Taylor.
Taylor's just a junior. He'll be back for more next year. Taylor takes it. This time doesn't find much room. Tries to move forward for about a yard, and that's about it.
Darius McCrimon. The McCrimon brothers are getting it going here in the second half. Number 17, Darius McCrimon. He's actually the senior of the two.
They're having nice ball games.
The McCrimon family should be awfully proud right now.
Making it happen here in the Class 5A State Championship. Glad you could join us from Florida Field. Todd Callis along with Brady Ackerman. Terry Norvell down on the sidelines. Second down, call it 8. David Hall back to throw. Fires deep down the sideline for Lake. He's got it at 10, 5. Touchdown Estero. The Wildcats answer right back. Andrew Layton from David Hall on the touchdown pass of 38 yards.
Outstanding throw by David Hall. Good coverage by Anthony Jones. Him and Layton been going at it all night, but Layton making the nice fingertip catch over the shoulder. Outstanding throw by David Hall. As you see, he lays it out there off the play fake. Good coverage right here, as you see. Just a great throw. Touchdown.
Cinderella is still alive. Estero, nobody could have imagined this team would be here in the Class 5A State Championship. They're about to tie the game, and they do with the extra point by West Virginia. They did not win the district. They went on the road and played 4 games. All 4 were close, including 3 one-point games. They are tied right now at 14. We'll take a timeout and come back with more from Gainesville right after this on Sports Channel Florida. There you see the scoring drive for Estero High. The Wildcat fans on their feet after the 9-play, 75-yard drive, capped off by the 38-yard touchdown. Andrew Layton on the receiving end from David Hall. The Estero Wildcats played 3 one-point games in this playoff series. The one game that was not a one-point game was a victory 34-10 against Charlotte. Now bouncing to the outside, our guy Anthony Jones. We've been talking about him. He's at the 45 all the way to midfield. He has done a little bit of everything today.
Anthony Jones, just the man. He just got beat for the touchdown. Makes something happen to put Osceola in good field position. As you see, he follows his wedge up there in the middle. Nothing there, kind of bounces off a guy. His own guy gets a good block there and uses his great speed to the corner to set up this Osceola offense in Estero territory.
Osceola, meanwhile, we talked about the close games for Estero. Osceola shutting out Mainland 32-0 to get to the championship game. Also in this playoff series, they defeated Spruce Creek 35-7, bombed Bellevue 68-20, and beat a very good Gainesville team 33-20. That Punta Gorda Charlotte team that Estero beat was also very good. They had taken out Northeast the week before, 56-13, and Northeast was undefeated this year. So some big wins on both sides, but Kissimmee Osceola, the more explosive of these two teams. 14 all. We're under 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Osceola with the ball across midfield. You see the big F here at Ben Hill Griffith Stadium in the Swamp. Pitch back from Scipio. Willie Green, Class 5A Player of the Year at the 45, hit and stuck at the 42-43. The Estero kids we talked about only having 28 reps. Defensively, when they hit, they don't seem to give way. They make some good, solid contact.
Yeah, and that guy right there, number 52, Mike Ibar, the leader of their defense from the linebacker position, 6'1", 225, did an outstanding job of stretching it out. Again, stretching out Willie Green, forcing him back inside, making the tackle so that the rest of his teammates could come there and help him bring him down.
Not incredible size, but a lot of heart defensively. Third down and 4. Kissimmee Osceola, 2 receivers split out to the left side. Scipio takes the handoff. He'll take it to Willie Green. Green looking for a first down. He's got it at the 35, falls forward to the 32. Willie Green.
Chio Garcia, number 4, makes the tackle to save a touchdown, or Willie Green would have had his second of the evening. Here it is right here, just a little counter play. They're going to pull the guard in the tackle. He sees a hole, hits it up in there. One guy to beat. The secondary man, Garcia, comes up with the tackle.
First and 10. Over 100 yards for Green. Give him 110 in the game on 20 carries. Moscow with the carry on that last play. Chad Moscow, who has done a nice job spelling Willie Green tonight on that first down carry. He'll gain about 5. It'll be second down and 5. And just as Estero answered Osceola, coming right back, the Cowboys try to get back into the lead.
All set up by the good kick return, putting the offense in good field position.
Anthony Jones with that long kick return. It's second down and 5. Scipio with 2 backs behind him. He'll hand off to the second back through. Willie Green, 20, 15, 10, 5, dragging tacklers, touchdown. Willie Green, touchdown, Kissimmee Osceola, and that's why he's the Class 5A Player of the Year.
When he gets in the open field, he goes to another level. He takes it from 3rd gear and goes ahead and puts it all the way into 5th gear as he smells that pay dirt.
32 touchdowns coming into tonight. Make it 34 with his second of the evening.
Here they are running the counter to the strong side. He finds a little seam and just drags himself into the end zone for the touchdown to put Osceola ahead.
And the extra point is good by Brandon Fint with 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Golden Domers take the lead. It's 21 for Osceola and 14 for Estero. Brady, here's another look.
There you go. You got this guy and this guy playing here. Gonna find him a hole right up the middle there. Makes one guy miss. Great effort. Getting into the end zone by Willie Green.
Left side was Jared Stewart and Reggie Bell on that play, clearing a big hole, and they did free Willie for that long carry and a touchdown. 21-14, Kissimmee Osceola leads with 13 minutes and 10 seconds to play. Remember, quarters are 12 minutes long, and Willie Green is catching a breather.
And that's it right there. This is how you know he's a player. He's got the hair. He's got the hair. And when you have that kind of hair, there you go. When you've got this right there, that means you're a player. You got that hair and you're a running back, you're a player. This kid is only a junior, Todd. I mean, it's amazing. He looks like he can play college ball right now the way he looks.
5 plays, 49 yards, the last 26 on the touchdown run by Willie Green. And Jim Seid was going to be a great coach again next year with Willie Green back as a senior. On the kickoff, down at the 19-yard line by Adrian Hall. Bobby Scipio with a nice kick. He is the quarterback and also the kicker on the kickoffs. And Estero, they've taken a lot of punches in the playoff series, and they keep coming back. Well, here's another one they have to come back from. A touchdown drive by Osceola, and they now trail with 1:08 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and the difference is this is the most offensively explosive team that they've faced in the playoffs. So now they're going to have to match them up point for point. Nobody's really scored that many points on Estero in the playoffs. But again, they've got to answer them now point for point, and they've got to go 82 yards.
David Hall, the quarterback, he'll hand off to Travis Taylor, bowling his way forward. Taylor trying to answer Willie Green. He gains about 5, and Taylor's trying to fire up his offense. He is an excitable player out there.
He really is. He's playing with a lot of emotion. You see number 33, Ernest Bernardo, 6'3", 195, making the tackle, or at least along for the ride on the tackle, as a strong run by Travis Taylor, who's averaged about 5 yards a carry here in the second half.
Taylor, the lone back, actually make it 2 backs as Adrian Hall is split out to the left side behind Taylor. Hall will not get the handoff. They give it to Taylor, who gets tripped up. Good defensive play by Kissimmee Osceola. Leading the way, Tony Paradiso, number 32, wears that big neck guard.
Yeah, and that was a good play by him because there was a lot of running room out here to the right side for Travis Taylor, and he could have maybe tied this game up on that run. Excellent play by Paradiso.
See the clock remaining. We may get one more playoff before the end of the third quarter. It's 3rd down and 4, but now Estero's going to wait it out and change ends of the field and come back for a 3rd down and 4 from the other side. So we have 12 minutes left to go in this Class 5A state championship. The score after 3. Kissimmee Osceola 21, Estero 14. Back for the 4th quarter right after this on Sports Channel.
Okay, guys, now I don't know if this means anything, but it's a cheap way for me to get a bunch of pretty girls around me. Let me tell you, this is the Osceola cheerleading squad. Now, the Estero football team only has 28 football players. The Osceola cheerleading team has 30 members, as you can see. I don't know if it means anything, but oh wow, I got a bunch of girls. Back to you guys.
And a lot of those girls had to squat down so Terry could see. So, outstanding job, Terry.
Tough assignment down there, Terry. Good job. Big play here. 3rd and 4. Estero with the ball to start the 4th quarter. David Hall hands off to Travis Taylor, and he gets stuck. Kissimmee Osceola comes up big on defense, and they will force a punt.
Boy, the whole defense was in there. Larry Anderson, as you see, 95, the big defensive tackle, sticking it up in there. Paradiso, the linebacker. Would have been a good time for a little play pass right there as they had everybody in the box, Osceola, so they're going to have to punt it away here on 4th down.
Estero has lived by the 4th quarter. They have been behind before. They have always come back. They have outscored their opponents 122 to 10 in the 4th quarter. Estero needs one more comeback to close out this magical season, trailing by 7. But Kissimmee Osceola will take over the ball. Dangerous play right there. It works out. But fielding the ball was Darryl Walls with a defender right in his face, and a late flag goes down on Kissimmee Osceola, I believe, as Estero starts clapping on that late flag, which could be an unsportsmanlike. And that's the way that referee Bob Albertson is pointing.
He's pointing that way. That'll back up what would have been really nice field position for Osceola. So this is kind of a plus as far as Estero goes. The defense can now tee off a little bit as they've got them backed up, at least in decent, not as good a field position as they had. They had it at midfield. Now this penalty is going to back it up near their 20. So a good break there for Estero.
Look, Kissimmee Osceola takes over with 11:16 remaining. Last time Osceola played in the title game, we mentioned 1982. They lost to Titusville. They lost 33-0. This is the Sunshine State, but not a lot of warmth around this evening. Fans just saw themselves on TV. Everybody here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium can see the same pictures you're seeing at home. So they see themselves on TV and they go, hey, there we are. There we go, number 1. Possibly they can live up to that title after tonight.
Well, it was a good job right there by the Estero defensive line, getting penetration to stop the short run by Osceola, putting him in 2nd and long situation, 2nd and 11. So Estero, if they can come up with a good stop right here, they got him back up inside the 20. If they can stop Osceola, they can get the ball back with decent field position.
Bobby Scipio has really come on this year. Senior quarterback calling signals, wearing number 1, hands off to Willie Green. Nice haul, pulls his way forward all the way to the 30-yard line. He gets 10 on that carry. And 2nd and long becomes 3rd and short thanks to Willie Green in the offensive line on the left side.
And the reason I compare Willie Green to an Emmitt Smith, he seems like a back. The more carries he gets, the better he gets. As you see the rushing yards right there, a lot of those coming from the 2nd quarter on. They didn't have many yards in the 1st quarter. The more carries Willie Green gets, the better he gets.
So it's 3rd down and short. They have to get to the 31. Call it 3rd and a short 2. This is Masco. Masco gets the first down plus some all the way towards the 35-yard line. That's a nice run right there. He's done a great job, Chad Masco, coming in and spelling Willie Green.
Yeah, he's got to have close to 100 yards too himself. And I don't know if you call that, you know, a nice changeup, because you're still getting another power guy. It's not like a power guy and a quick guy. You get 2 power guys with speed and size and strength. So you're not getting much of a changeup. You're just getting another big physical body run at you.
Kissimmee Osceola with the lead in the 5A state championship. Willie Green gets submerged by number 70 and also number 52. Mike Abar comes in, and Eric McIntyre, the defensive tackle, also one of the first ones in on the stop.
See this right here, this is when you're a linebacker. See, notice the top of the helmet, it's got all the marks up there. Notice the marks, you got marks, marks, marks. That's a guy who's made a lot of tackles. The defensive leader for Estero, the Spirit. Look at all those stickers on the back of his helmet. Mike Abar, red run, got downhill and made the tackle.
So it sets up another 2nd and long. Scipio back, he'll hand off to Green. Green tries to pop off a tackle, but gets stuck there. And guess who made that stop?
Mike Ibar. This guy, 6'1", 225. Look at that. You got dirt, you got grass on your elbows, paint, everything. He has hardly any paint left on his helmet. This is a guy who's made a lot of tackles. The defensive leader for Estero, coming in there from the backside linebacker spot right there, making the tackle. Outstanding high school football player.
Osceola needs to get the ball close to the 45. 3rd down and 6. Scipio will hand off to Green. Trying to bounce off a tackle, and guess who?
Mike Ibar.
There you go.
And the great, and they need to run this one again. Mike Ibar has a lineman up on him, trying to make the block. He fends the lineman off and still makes the tackle. That's right, you are the man, Mike Ibar. Outstanding tackle.
What a 3-play series for Ibar, forcing a punt. Willie Green getting stuffed on 3rd down.
And he's only a junior. Unbelievable.
He'll be back for more next year. Here's a punt that's a little bit short at the 40-yard line. Bounce out of bounds. Bounces out of bounds at the 37, where Estero will take over. 1st and 10, trailing 21-14. We'll take a timeout, and we'll come back to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium for more of the Class 5A state finals right after this on Sports Channel Florida. 8:04 remaining in the game. Welcome back to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. It's the reverse to Andrew Layton, looking for some room, and he finds some room in midfield at the 40, trying to break a tackle, and he fumbles, and Kissimmee Osceola recovers. What a great play by Kissimmee Osceola's number 33, Ernest Bernardo, who came all the way back to make the tackle and force the fumble on what was almost a game-time touchdown run by Andrew Layton on the reverse.
Yeah, and the quarterback here springs it. Watch David Hall as they run the double reverse to Layton. Hall's going to come out here and make a nice block to pick off number 7. As you see right there, he gets up there, looks like pay dirt, only one guy to beat. Excellent effort here by Ernest Bernardo to cause the fumble. You got to protect the ball. You got to put it in your outside arm. A big mistake by Andrew Layton right there.
Never knew Bernardo was there, never covered up the ball, and that is a big turnover. Here is Chad Moscow looking for room on the outside. He's at the 40. He's close to the 45 before he's tackled out of bounds by a trio of Wildcats, and that is a huge turnaround. Estero goes from a great double reverse deep into Osceola territory. Instead, Osceola comes right back with a big gain after the fumble.
How about this 1-2 punch for Osceola? It's got to have Coach Joe Hampton for Estero scratching his head. They run it. He runs off tackle. It looks like they got him hemmed in. Then he just turns it to another level. Chad Moscow getting to the corner, picking up nice yardage, getting the ball out over the 45-yard line.
The other half of that 1-2 punch lined up behind the quarterback, Scipio. There he is, Willie Green. And he gains, even on something like that, he gains 4 or 5 yards. Yeah,
he does. He runs so low to the ground, has such great low center of gravity, and runs really hard. He rarely has a negative play.
We saw Mike Abar again, and we've called him numerous times. He had the huge series last time defensively. Estero's defense has to really turn it up a notch here. They've been out on the field a long time this game. Green now up to 155 yards rushing. Here he comes again across midfield, bouncing off tacklers. Finally, he is tripped up just short of the first down. They needed to get to the 45 of Estero. and Green was tackled about a half-yard shy of that mark.
Yeah, Estero tried to blitz the play side linebacker, Jason Rowland here, number 7. Watching it, you'll get to see, well, you can't see it on this shot, but the lineman, good job of blocking down. They pick Ibar off right there to free up Willie Green, and that glass slipper is starting to get a little tight. Maybe falling off the old foot here for Estero if they don't get a stop here.
3rd down, less than a yard. Scipio may keep it himself, and he does. Kind of stumbles, but falls forward for our first beyond the 45. Scipio lost his footing, but regained it in time to get the 1st down.
It sure did. If his knee would have gone down in high school, if your knee is down, it's not like the pros. If your knee goes down, you're down where it hits on the contact, even if you haven't been touched. So he kept his feet. David Melendez kind of dove through there, almost came up with a big play for Estero.
Estero led this game 7-0. Osceola came right back to tie it at 7. Osceola now with a 7-point lead. This time Moscow finds no running room on the left side. Good defensive play by a host of Estero Wildcats, led by Chris Bergman.
There you see the big guy, Chris Bergman, number 82, coming up. Stuff in the middle of the line there. And they need a stop here. Plenty of time, just under 6 minutes. But again, you want to try to get a stop here, but you're going to get the ball in bad field position because of the punt. So you need a little bit more time on the clock with that ground-oriented offense to go 80 yards on the field.
Little Young, the defensive left tackle, slow to get up, but he stays in the game. 2nd down and 10. This is Willie Green, and he is hit and met by a bunch of Wildcats. The initial hit was made by David Melendez. Then he bounced in the middle of the line, and a whole host came up to make the stop.
And I think we're going to get a personal foul on Osceola, a costly penalty. Number 7, Quentin Smith, trying to come in there late and hit somebody after the play was over. Let's see the call. Yep, personal foul on Quentin Smith. I believe it was number 7. He came in there late after the play. The pile had been stopped. Now, from the spot of the foul, you've got 2nd and 10 from where they were at, and this is going to put you back in your territory at your 40. Now that field position starts to become a better opportunity for Estero if they can get a stop right here. It's actually going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, it's going to be after the play. So
dead ball foul, okay.
Even more costly. After the play was stopped, they tack on the personal foul, so it's now 3rd and 25.
Yeah, and right here is a formation. They've loved to run the sweep out of it today. There it is, the toss sweep to the right side.
Willie Green has some room, but he is stopped shy, and well shy. He needed to get to the 34, stopped at the 48, but not a bad call because Green could break one of those.
Yeah, and actually what you're trying to do there is get about 10 or 12 yards so that you can get a better shot here. Here's the toss sweep. They're pulling the guard and tackle play side. He sticks it up in there, and yeah, anytime this guy gets the ball in the hands, he has a chance to go to distance. But by picking up that 12 yards, it allows your punter to maybe pin them back inside their own 20 and cause Estero to have to drive a long way with only 4:41 left in the game.
Kissimmee Osceola calls timeout. As you see the clock, the ally right now of the Cowboys, Jim Seibel, in there to talk to his crew. Don't forget to catch the rest of Sports Channel's high school championship coverage. Join us tomorrow for the Class 6A championships at 7 o'clock and the Class 2A finals at 9:30. It's all right here on Sports Channel Florida.
You know, Jim Seibel and that Osceola team at one time was ranked number 1 in Class 5A, and they were ranked 22nd in the nation, and then had the 2 losses in a row, which they said earlier when we talked to Terry Norvell that actually inspired them. But at the time they got beat, they were number 1 in the state of Florida, 23rd in the country.
Yeah, really, Jim Seibel said we could not have held on undefeated number 1. As you said, as Terry mentioned, those losses really helped propel this team into the success here in the postseason. So 4:41 remaining. Charlie Owen, number 82, the junior, back in punt formation, and the left footer gets into it to about the 18-yard line. With David Hall looks for running room and finds none. Tackled at the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. Hall will get up after he slams his hand down and call the signals as the quarterback. His team trails by 7. 4:36 remaining in this ball game. Estero with all 3 timeouts.
Now Estero has to go 80 yards, but I like the play call the last time before the fumble. I mean, they've got some plays in the repertoire that can do some things. They're not just a straight-ahead running team. So the passing of David Hall and the catching of Andrew Layton, I think Coach Hampton may have something still left up his sleeve.
First and 10 for the Wildcats. Hall rolls to his right, looking for some running room. Pursued and taken down. Henry Campbell's had a big game, and he's going to get flagged. Or actually, there are flags down. Not sure if it's going to go against Campbell, but flags are down after that great defensive play by Kissimmee Osceola. Did he get a face mask?
I don't think he got his face mask. I know he got him from behind the line, and maybe on Estero holding.
Yep. Good call there, Brady.
And that may have put him back. It's from the spot of the foul. He called it on number 63 as he signaled it in there. Charlie Gray, the right guard. And I guess only in the NFL they can call the numbers out. But the coach, instead of the ref having to run over there, he wanted to just signal it because the coach wanted to know who it was. A great play by Henry Campbell for no gain. But with the penalty, that really makes it tough. A long way to go and a short time to get there.
You can see a chilly night tonight in Gainesville, Florida. Glad you could join us on Sports Channel Florida. Todd Callis, Brady Ackerman, Terry Norvell, bringing you all the action of the Class 5A State Championship. Estero High School, the most surprising team in the state championships in a long time. They need to pull out one more miracle. Travis Taylor on 1st and 20 gains about 3 yards. What is one more miracle still remaining? Let's go down to Terry Norvell and find out, Terry.
I'll tell you one thing, guys, the big question everybody wants to know. Last week, Estero had the big win at Lakeland. Well, their fans, they stormed the field. They tried to pull the goalpost down. They couldn't get it done. This week, if they win, do they pull the University of Florida's goalpost down? I don't know. That's the question if they come back.
Well, this might go ahead, Bruce.
I'll tell you this, they'll have one more person with Terry down there that may help him get it over the hump.
David Hall's in trouble, and he goes down on 2nd down and 17. Hall loses another 3 or 4. So the Kissimmee Osceola defense, Jim Seibel talked about it coming out of the locker room at halftime. The defense really stepping up for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they are, and I'll tell you, it looked like there was some miscommunication there on the in the backfield on who was supposed to block or whatever. Number 83, big Robert Martin, 6'2", 300-pound junior, got up in there and stuffed this up. There you go, little misdirection. 5 just right there, didn't want any part. Adrian Hall, only 5'8", 165, didn't want any part of Mr. Martin right there. All 300 pounds of him, the junior.
So a timeout on the field with 3:29 remaining in the ball game. Estero needs a lot of territory, 90 yards, to tie up this ball game in the 5A championship. Hey, remember, sports fans, log on to sportschannelflorida.com for your link to the best coverage of Florida sports. Enter the Hockey Challenge contest, send email to your favorite announcers or links to your favorite teams, and much, much more. It's all on sportschannelflorida.com. Here we go, 3rd down and a bunch. Call it 3rd and 20. Hall rolling, needing help, fires, complete somehow to Layton, who now fumbles the ball. Andrew Layton fumbles the ball. Kissimmee takes over inside the 20-yard line. 2nd consecutive costly fumble by the senior Andrew Layton.
It's really been a tough 4th quarter for Andrew Layton. He wouldn't have had the 1st down anyway. As they run a little sprint pass, number 33, Ernest Bernardo, coming in there, forcing him to throw it before he wanted to. Good catch by Layton, but he doesn't put the ball away. And then the 2nd time in this quarter, he's fumbled it, and that one could be proved costly.
Bernardo has had a huge game, the 18-year-old senior on the defensive line. Here comes Osceola with the ball, leading by 7. Moscow goes forward for a gain of about 3. The clock, a big ally of the Cowboys, 3:10 and counting. Estero with 2 timeouts remaining. They do not choose to use a timeout here.
You know what Osceola needs to do right now is run it straight at him, run the clock down, and take all 4 plays to get the 1st down. And if you don't get it, they've got a long ways to go.
2nd and 7. Scipio hands off to Willie Green. Green is corralled. Layton making the tackle on the outside, grabbing an ankle. Does Estero call a timeout here? They look to the sidelines. No signal yet.
Probably after the 3rd down. If they can hold them on 3rd down here, they'll probably use one of their timeouts to keep them somewhere around 2 minutes left to go and force Osceola to make a decision to whether try the field goal attempt or to go for it on 4th down. But this is the key play in the football game right here. If you get a stop on 3rd down with a timeout, may have a chance.
Here we go. Look at those numbers for Willie Green. This play could decide the 5A championship. 3rd and goal. They hand off to Green, and he is stuffed short. So the hope is still alive. The dream is still alive for Estero as they are short on 3rd down. Another play by David Melendez and also Adam Gilstad, number 44. Estero is finally going to call timeout. Here's another look at that 3rd down play.
There we go, just running a little ISO right up at him. Good job by Melendez coming in there. Ibar right around the pile, always seems to have his nose. And Adam Gilstad. Good job by the defensive line and the defense of Estero. 1:55 to go. You burn a timeout and force Osceola to either try a field goal or go for it.
Brandon Pitt, this is such an explosive offense, such a high-scoring, potent offense. Brandon Pitt, Brady, has not tried a field goal this year, or just one try at a field goal. He's 0 for 1, so they don't try a lot of field goals, but they're going to try one here, it looks like.
I'm going to question this just because of the fact that I think you can get 3 yards with Willie Green, and if not, you've run another 30 seconds off the clock, or you force them to use their last timeout. They'd have no timeouts, 96 yards to go. And in that offense and the way the defense of Osceola has been playing, I don't think so. Here you're risking a chance to get a field goal blocked. But he must have some confidence in this young man to make this.
And I'm not sure if Kissimmee Osceola head coach Jim Seibel is completely convinced this is the right move as they talk it over right now.
Right.
I'm not sure if he's committed entirely to the field goal. There's Bobby Scipio.
Yeah, and the assistant coach there is probably pointing out his options. That's what assistant coaches do. They give the head coach options and say, hey, coach, if we do this, this is what they have to do, and if they do that, we have to do this, and the coach then makes his decision. Again, I think that's what they're going to do, is bring the offense back in, which I think is a good call by Coach Seibel here. I really do, because even if you don't get the 1st down, they've got a long way to go. You force them to burn their last timeout. And there's a good chance they might get the 1st down with Willie Green back there.
So Brandon Pitt was the kicker out on the field, but instead he's on the sideline. They're going to go for it right here on 4th down and a little more than 2. The handoff to Green. Needs to get to the 7. He fumbles the football, and Beach recovers for Osceola. What a fortunate play for Kissimmee Osceola. Robbie Beach, number 4, never saw the football. It was sitting at his feet, but by the time he saw it, he was still able to recover for the Cowboys.
Robbie Beach, maybe the most important play of his young career in high school. Here's the big guy, Willie Green, getting to the corner, using the speed. Good hit from the backside by number 4, Garcia, and number 3, Arzamendi, coming over, causing the fumble, but they just couldn't recover it. And the slipper may have fallen off on Estero's Cinderella season.
Agonizing with that ball sitting on the ground. The Wildcats couldn't quite get there. So Green picks up the big 1st down. That does not lose the ball on the fumble. Hand off to Green inside the 5, dragging tacklers to the 4. Estero has 1 timeout remaining. When do you use it? They're going to wait right now after the 1st down play. And Osceola from Kissimmee will be able to take it all the way down inside the 1-minute mark.
Yeah, all you want to do now, if you're Estero, is somehow try to get a strip or a turnover here and then hope somebody can scoop and score it. But you got to keep playing hard, and that's what this team has done all year long for Coach Joe Hampton.
Osceola will hand off to Willie Green. There's a touchdown for Willie Green. His 3rd of the game, and the Class 5A Player of the Year just put the icing on the championship. 27-14 Osceola.
Just an ISO to the right side. They line both their backs up to the right side. Look at the excitement on the sideline for Osceola. This is something they've been pointing to since last year when they lost in the semifinals to Rutherford, who was the 5A runner-up a year ago, coming right into your television set in your living room. Look how he puts 2 hands over the ball. And this guy still has another year to play high school football.
35 touchdowns for Willie Green, and Brandon Pitt adds the extra point. So Brady, the decision to go for it on 4th down proves to be a very big one and the right choice this time for Coach Jim Seibel.
Yeah, outstanding call by him, and going back to it. Here you see him coming on the right side here, opening up a huge hole on the offensive line. Number 52 center David Wallach, Jared Stewart, Reggie Bell. And then this guy, that's all you got to do. He knows what to do when you get inside the 10-yard line. Smell that end zone and pay dirt.
3 touchdowns on the night for Willie Green. He is going to be a candidate for Mr. Florida football. There you see Willie Green's numbers. You like that number? You like that number.
Big time. And look at the workload with the 35 carries, 185 yards. He's just a horse. We said if they're going to win it, he's going to have to tote it 30 times and carry it.
Looks like they've broken out the state championship hats already over on the Osceola sidelines. And hey, the Estero Wildcats. Nobody in their wildest dreams, Brady, could have imagined this crew would get to the state championship game.
Yeah, and there's a little consolation in that. They've had an outstanding season, but they're going to look at the 2 fourth-quarter fumbles, the staff, and they were that close to being there. A tough break by the fumbles in the fourth quarter, especially after the great call on the reverse. Just been unfortunate, and the luck of Estero has just run out, but they played really well and did a nice representation of themselves in an outstanding 5A state championship football game.
In 1982, when the Osceola Cowboys from Kissimmee made it to the state championship game, here comes Hall, who fumbles himself. David Hall fumbles, loses it again, falls loose, flags down, all kinds of mayhem going on over at the Kissimmee Osceola sideline. Looks like Estero got the ball back. There is a flag down. The last time Kissimmee Osceola was in the state championship game, 1982, they got trounced, shut out by Titusville 33-0. 16 years later, the Cowboys with a K come back to the state title game, and they are just 37 seconds away from winning the first ever state championship for the school.
A little face mask penalty in there on Osceola as Estero got it back. So does Bobby's Coach Scipio take part of his congratulatory messages and send some out to East Bay and Auburndale for doing what he said, got his team refocused after they were #1 in the state and the top 20 in the country, top 25 in the country, got them refocused.
Absolutely. And you know, everybody watching it from East Bay and from Auburndale is excited because now they can say they defeated the Class 5A state champion. But yes, there's no doubt that Osceola got a wake-up call, and that has helped them immensely on their road to Gainesville. And the road is about to be paved with a state crown, 27 seconds away. And there's big number 95. He'll play Division I ball next year. Larry Anderson, the 6'4", 250-pound senior. And that's what it's all about. The seniors in their last game winning a state crown. You can't go out more emotionally charged than that.
Yeah, and one thing to remember, you know, there have been a lot of 5A teams tonight that wouldn't have been able to play with this Osceola. They played outstanding since the first quarter, doing what Osceola likes to do, running the ball with Willie Green and Masco, going at them, letting Scipio make plays, and they've just wore down Estero with their offensive plan. And again, like you say, this is a team that's been pointing to it since last year. There's Estero head coach Joe Hampton. Seibel and them lost in the Final Four a year ago to a really good Springfield Rutherford team, 30-18, who ended up being the runner-up to Aquinas. So Osceola's goal all year in the offseason was to get back to this game, get back to the Final Four of the playoffs, win it, get into the championship game, and win it. And they've reached their goal.
24 ticks remaining. The Estero Wildcats, underdogs the entire championship playoff series, on the road for 5 straight weeks. There's a penalty flag down. David Hall, he's not giving up yet. He's still scrambling around past midfield. He's probably going to come back due to a hold.
Well, they've gone double reverse, now triple reverse. They've got all the plays. This guy's a real exciting player. David Hall, the quarterback's done everything he could do tonight to try to bring home a state championship to Estero. And it's so tough, you know, when you have a playoff system like this, and everybody talks about they want major college football to have a playoff system because, you know, you want to decide a champion. But one good thing about the bowls, everybody's happy, or at least half the teams are happy that win them and the other half are happy to go. So a tough thing about a playoff system is a guy like Joe Hampton has got to tell his kids that it was a successful season, and he's got to sell them on it. They get all the way to the championship game, and they have to go home a loser. And it's tough when you go home a loser, but they should hold their heads high because it's awfully tough to get here.
Oh, and absolutely.
And as a coach, you always worry, will I ever be able to get back?
Oh, nobody would have thought Estero could have beaten Lakeland last week on the road. They did. 3 one-point victories out of the 4 games on the road in the playoffs. Final few seconds of the ball game, and one, and that'll do it. The Kissimmee Osceola Cowboys And look at Terry Norvell right in there with the head coach, Jim Seibel, the victorious head coach in the Class 5A state championship. First ever state title for the school from Kissimmee. And let's go down and join Terry Norvell with the victorious coach. Terry?
I've got Jim Seibel, the 5A state champion coach from Osceola. Coach, you told me in pregame that the key to your team was 2 losses back-to-back that helped focus you guys.
Yeah, it was. Our kids, they learned a lesson from that, and they were able to pull it together, and we've won our last 6 in a row. And after that #1 ranking, we lost it and got, hey, here we are in the swamp, won the state championship. First time in the history of the school. And boy, we are proud of our young men tonight. What a great tribute and great effort they played all season, and it culminated a week before Christmas with our first state championship. We're all going to get those big rings, and boy, I tell you what, we are so happy. I can't, it's indescribable. $1 million is not worth this feeling.
Coach, the hat says state champions. Congratulations, go celebrate.
Thanks a lot.
There you have it, 5A state champions for '98, Osceola.
Great job, Terry, and Coach Jim Seibel. The first outright state title for Central Florida since 1982 and 1983 when Titusville took home a state crown. We'll come back and wrap up the Class 5A football championship from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium right after this. You're watching Sports Channel Florida. The Florida High School Activities Association on Sports Channel has been brought to you in part by Dairy Farmers Incorporated. Got milk? And by Hip Health Plan of Florida. Affordable, quality health care is never a thing of the past. There you see the final score in the 5A football state finals. Kissimmee Osceola, first ever state championship for the school. 28, Estero, quite a remarkable run, 14. And Brady Ackerman, Kissimmee Osceola's coach Jim Seibel set it off. You couldn't give him $1 million to have the feeling he has right now.
No, you start way back in August with 2-a-days in the heat, practicing, hoping to get to this point. There's no guarantees you can get to this point no matter how much talent. It never really sank in until it actually happens.
And you can't forget about the remarkable run by these guys. 28 players dressed for every game for the Estero Wildcats. They bucked incredible odds to get this far, and they shouldn't feel sorry about anything. A remarkable season for the Estero Wildcats. Brady, we'll do it all again down the road. Thanks for joining us, and also for Terry Norvell. We thank you for joining us here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville, Florida. Catch more high school championship football action tomorrow night, starting at 7 o'clock with the Class 6A finals, followed by the Class 2A championship. Class 6A at 7, Class 2A at 9:30. For Brady Ackerman and Terry Norvell, I'm Todd Callis saying good night from Gainesville, Florida's Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. From the swamp, the 5A football champions, Kissimmee Osceola, with the final score, Kissimmee Osceola 28, Estero 14. We'll see you again right here on Sports Channel Florida.